Oh my god. What is happening? Is he dead? Oh! Oh. Okay. Hi there, I'm Jules. Nice to see you. The word of the day today is banana. You know, like the fruit. If you'd like to know why banana is the word of the day, watch my next video and then read the description to find out. Hey babes, today we're playing Broken Minds again. So let's get right into it. We left off right at the therapist's office. Just sit quietly on the couch, please. Very well. Well, if I'm exploring, I'm not sitting quietly on the couch, am I? A bamboo shoe rack in the corner. Takuma hadn't taken off his shoes. He hadn't at my house either. I was a little distracted at the time, so I didn't notice. The door leading out of the office. Okay. Hey, mind if I look at your computer? Yes? Okay, sorry. I wasn't allowed on for the time being. Well. Sit here. I'm going to do work. What does your work usually entail? Don't try to sweet talk me. See, I get you. I get what you're doing. Won't you please let us speak to Dr. Uzumaki now? Don't you know the concept of patience? It's when you shut up and sit down. So, like, do that? What if I give you a candy? Creepy. Well, it was worth a shot. Guess I'll sit on the couch. Hey, that's what I like to see. Defeat. Dr. Uzumaki's been in there for quite a while. You know, I'm not even sure he really has a client. Is that so? How about you guys just poke in and see how he's doing? We can? Thank you. Yeah, totally. Go on, I'll move the sign. Oh, great. Okay. Oh my god. What is happening? Is he dead? Oh! Oh. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god! What? It's Dr. Uzumaki. He's sprawled out on the floor. Let me see. Move aside. He's dead all right. Delicious. What? A delicious addition to this case. We've got another mystery on our hands. Oh boy. What's going on in here? Ah! Calm yourself, and don't touch anything. This is a hot crime scene. We have to keep everything exactly as we found it. I'll begin the autopsy straight away. Dr. Uzumaki! We'll need full access to the building. Yes, of course. We should move the body. What was your name again? Yaeba girl? Reiwa Kyougi. Kyougi. Can you please help me move the coiled Uzumaki? Oh, I don't know. It'll be easier to examine the crime scene and avenge his death if you cooperate, Mrs. Kyougi. Like I want to help you? Exactly like you want to help us. What? Just help me move him, please. Ugh, fine, whatever. What can I... Noah, help me search. Okay. Dr. Uzumaki is still a suspect. Look for anything suspicious. I can't believe he's gone. Snap to it, Noah. Right. Takuma was clearly impatient for answers. I hurried to help him search the offices. There was something on the table. Dr. Uzumaki's crayon set. He used to make me draw my feelings. Apparently he got something out of it. A drawing of a house was near the set. Dr. Uzumaki liked a more traditional aesthetic, that was for certain. Okay. I can't find anything. Look harder. Why aren't you looking harder? I'm busy waiting to talk to the secretary. Collecting testimonies fresh off the skillet is extremely important. You seem to be making a lot of references to food. There's no reason for you to think that. Now please hurry, it's getting late and I'd like to wrap this up to go. You did it again. Claim denied. Alright. Ooh, pretty. Dr. Uzumaki installed the pond during my second year visiting him. The space was designed to calm his patients. It worked. I felt my heart racing begin to slow. The surface of the pond looked more cluttered than usual. I needed to get a closer look. What? Something strange was floating in the pond. A box of chocolates. Something to take to Takuma. Okay. I already said that. Wait. The pond looked a lot better with the chocolates out of the way. Okay, where is he? Thank you, Noah. Ume and Yuzuki are busy with the autopsy. I think they've set up shop in the bathroom. Make sure to knock first. It can be pretty grotesque. Yeah, probably. You'll be excited to know that I happen to have already figured this clue out. In fact, it was exactly what I expected. But let's wait on the autopsy before making any major declarations, shall we? Yes, that's always a good thing to do. Was he talking to himself or me? I backed away slowly. He didn't seem to notice me leave. Okay, where's the bathroom? I knocked on the door of the bathroom. Just a second. Okay. We're finishing up the autopsy. Is Reiwa in there with you? No, I think she went outside. She got pretty upset right around the time Yuzuki started slicing into Dr. Uzumaki's. That's enough detail, thank you. That's all I wanted to know. Are you sure you don't want to peek inside? There are some nice incisions. No, I'm good. See yourself. I managed to get out of seeing a dissected body. 21 years and counting. Okay. Reiwa was distracted. The opportunity was nigh. Snoop on the computer, of course. I woke up the computer. Oh no. Kalenda. Noto. A document showing Dr. Uzumaki's client schedule was displayed on the screen. Reiwa had made a note. Apparently someone named Amane Kirishima had had a session earlier in the day. It didn't seem very important. Dang. That's it? Okay. I already went in here. I need to talk to Reiwa. I saw her leave, sobbing. Great. So she's outside then? Where's the front door? No. There's the front door. The door leading out of the office. Okay. Oh god, she has her makeup all streaked down her face. Noah. Reiwa was greatly saddened by the loss of Dr. Uzumaki, it appeared. I had to put myself aside for a while and console her. That'll be nice. I didn't even really know him, but doesn't death make you sad? Of course it does. What do you think I am, some kind of holier-than-thou but secretly guilt-ridden priest? Of course not. I always did wonder, though, why you were being treated by Dr. Uzumaki. Reiwa's curiosity seemed to have won out over her sad feelings. If I wanted to keep her riding the happy train, I'd have to explain my situation, at least a little. Be vague. Oh, you know, things and stuff. Are you sure you don't mean stuff and things? Did I? Yeah. If you were being treated for things and stuff, I don't think you'd be standing there. What did she mean? Well, that's great. Anyway, I came out here to ask you about the key to Dr. Uzumaki's office. Oh, that thing. I keep it with the stuff. I'm just kidding. Here you go. Thanks. Okay. Oh, Reiwa's shoes were missing from the rack. The door leading out of the office. Okay. Let's go back in. That's the bathroom. This is the office. Talk to me, dude. You got the key? Excellent. The office is through those doors over there. Tell me when you find something. When are you going to do the work yourself? When I don't have someone else to do it for me. He stared pointedly in my eyes. The truth is, even though it's part of my job, I don't enjoy evidence collection. I have to force myself to do it. How come? It's too careful and meticulous for me. I like smashing my way through crime. Mental violence. It's like a war in my brain right now. If only you could watch. No thanks. Those are the movies I always change the channel on. He was just being lazy. I couldn't let it get to me. There was a new place to explore. Okay, where? Oh, okay. A computer rested on the desk. It didn't provide any new information. Plus, I felt a little guilty about invading Dr. Uzumaki's personal computer. I decided to leave it alone. Seriously? A drawer was open. What could be inside? Oh no! Bunnies! Oh. The sketches. The sketches of my pet rabbits. They were hidden away in a file with my name on it. I vaguely remembered drawing them. It was during one of Uzumaki's sessions, but the memory was faint. Uh-oh. Dr. Uzumaki liked to have photocopies of famous paintings on his walls. Reiwa thought they cheapened the aesthetic. I was completely different about it. Oh. So, you searched the office? Wow, Takuma, when are you going to start doing your job? As soon as I start getting paid. Ugh, he isn't going to let this go. No, I think it's time for our first installment. Okay. Let me get my wallet. Day 1, morning. Operation setup, interviewing 3 witnesses. Midday, trauma damages, crime scene equipment, 2 autopsies, evidence collection, intellectual deduction, and first thoughts. Is there any other, perhaps lower-priced option besides the intellectual deduction? Yeah, the we don't give a crap deduction. It's like 5 yen. I wouldn't have wanted that anyway. The only people who have asked for that hired us to investigate whistleblowing accusations. Back to the bill. Night, more trauma damages, autopsy, evidence storage. It comes to 500,000 yen. Wait a minute. I'm not paying you to investigate Dr. Uzumaki's murder, just the murder of my parents. That would appear to be the case, until you really think about it. What's that supposed to mean? Oh, come on. Why don't people exercise their brains more often? Is it because they're ugly and gray? So you're saying I have to figure out what you mean by myself? Yes. He clearly had a suspect in mind, but who was he talking about? Dr. Uzumaki, my therapist? He did behave extremely suspiciously. Or maybe Reiwa, this receptionist secretary. It was possible to link her to Uzumaki's death, that was for sure. I needed to decide quickly. Takuma was glaring at me again. Suggest Dr. Uzumaki? If you're talking about who the most suspicious person is, I'd have to say it's Dr. Uzumaki, right? Yes, correct. I have strong evidence that supports the notion that Dr. Uzumaki's death is linked to your parents' deaths. You gave it to me yourself, the box of cute rabbit chocolates. They were soaked in chlorine and poison. Not only are they delicious, but they also bring to mind your rabbit-masked friend. My theory hinges on that detail. Well, not really, but it was a cool thing to say. This killer has, for some reason, associated themselves with the image of a rabbit. Whenever that image appears in relation to this crime, I think we should strongly suspect a connection to the killer. That makes sense. But I don't understand why you think Dr. Uzumaki is the killer if the sender of the chocolates was also the killer. It's obvious. Dr. Uzumaki poisoned himself. Oh, suicide. Why would he do that? It's a thing criminals do. So what you're saying is, overcome with guilt, he decided to take his own life? Think about it. There wasn't a card with the chocolates. I looked in the trash and everything. We know this killer isn't shy about leaving notes. If Uzumaki isn't the killer, then why isn't there a note with the chocolate? Maybe he was given it in person? Really? The killer gave Dr. Uzumaki poison chocolate? Like they'd make our job that easy. In that case, we just have to check the client registry. But the only client who met with Dr. Uzumaki this month, other than me, is Amane Kirishima. And she's 5. I don't know, have you ever met a 5-year-old? They can be pretty violent. True. But I see your point. What if the killer simply didn't leave a card with the chocolate? Then it never would have arrived. I talked to Reiwa while you were looking around in the office. Wasn't a long conversation, huh? She confirmed something for me. As the receptionist, it's her job to inspect packages. If she received chocolates without a note, she would have disposed of them. Probably into her own mouth, but you get my point. Reiwa didn't know about the chocolates. That means that the most likely scenario is that Dr. Uzumaki bought and ate them himself. No. How could it be? Why didn't Reiwa notice the chocolates? Did she not do her job, or was there some sort of trick? My thoughts circled my head, but I couldn't think of the answer at the moment. If I could just disprove what Takuma was saying, then I knew he would find the truth. Huh. Takuma's showing his cheerful face. That must mean we're close to the answer. I believe I've sufficiently tied Dr. Uzumaki to your parents. Good news, Noah. We have a prime suspect. Hence, we should be paid for investigating his murder as well. Hold on. Do you really think you've sufficiently tied the crime to Dr. Uzumaki? I mean, it's still a bit of a stretch, right? Motive-wise? Still, Noah. If it isn't him, who is it? It's not Reiwa. Who's left? He had a point. Okay, you win. 500,000 yen. Coming our way. There. One-word sentences. That's what I'm talking about. That's not how it works. We finally have money. This is the happiest day of my life. How about spending it on refurbishing the agency instead of nostalgia, exploitative Naguma Gal merch? But it's my money. I'll do whatever I want with it. And with that, fun time's over. We'll see you tomorrow, Noah. Great talk. Thank you for the hard work. By the way, Noah, where are you staying? I'll figure it out. Ray was looking lonely. Why don't you go bother her about giving you a place to stay? Thanks for the suggestion. Sure thing, Noah. Have fun now. As the detectives left the office, I thought about what they'd accomplished so far. They'd bumbled around crime scenes without taking off their shoes. They'd let me, their client, touch evidence related to the crime without gloves no less. And they'd acted uncaring and indifferent to an insulting degree. For the most part, that is. Maybe not Yuzuki. What had I gotten myself into? Okay. Oh, there she is. I didn't want to stomp all over Reiwa's feelings by abruptly asking her for favors. It had been difficult enough getting her to give me the key. It wasn't just that, though. Reiwa's personality was a little grating, to be honest, but I didn't have money for a hotel, so I braced myself and dove in. Hey, what do you want? Just an enormous favor. My apartment is currently a crime scene, so I can't spend the night there. So you're going to a hotel. Why would you tell me that? I don't have money for a hotel. I just gave everything I had on to the detectives, and the bank is closed. You're just giving me a bunch of excuses? What do I do with that, Noah? Could you put me up for the night? Ugh, you mean like in my house? That is gross. You would be standing on my floor? With your feet? How else would I stand on your floor? I'm sorry, Noah. I just can't deal with your drama right now. I would have to have a really, really good reason to do you a favor. What if we hung out together? We could, go shopping? Yeah, I guess that's worth it. Noah, I'll show you a great time. I'm looking forward to it. Maybe Reiwa would be my friend after all. Okay, Noah, let's go. My house isn't that far away. I'll meet you outside. Yes. Okay, why don't I just go outside? That's weird. What's this? What's happening? That was weird. Don't you hate walking? No, I like it. Do you want to do the spa thing now? Not really, it's late. Okay. Look for your mat. It's in a secret place. Well, off you go? If I can't find it, then what? Well, that's a little antisocial. Reiwa said I'd have to search for my tatami mat. It was a good opportunity to explore her apartment. I could see the bed through the door. One-person apartments didn't have much of a need for privacy. Did Reiwa really need this empire-sized bed to herself? What a waste of space. The room could use a cleaning. The same could be said for mine, but mine was a crime scene, so it was understandable. The episode was a particularly gruesome one. I couldn't tear my eyes away fast enough. My apartment was better. I remembered my cousin once had an apartment that looked exactly like Reiwa's. The apartment layout there had been just as perplexing. Oh, that's the bathroom. My outfit wasn't rumpled, despite all the walking. Regarding my feet, however, they hurt. Didn't Reiwa know how to put the shower curtain outside the bath to dry? That slightly open cabinet was very enticing. I thrust it open. It turned out to be very disappointing. And yet, oddly satisfying. Okay, so where is my freaking tatami mat? Okay. I guess I'll go outside and ask her. Noah, why are you out here? I had to do some thinking. I couldn't find the mat. You got me. Is that so? I stored the mat in a concealed compartment in the hall. Oh, is that where it was? I thought that compartment-shaped line in the wall might be it. Thanks for putting me up. Good night. Stop. Come back. There's been something on my mind. Finally, Reiwa was opening up to me. I hoped. I think... She paused. Her eyes scrambled for somewhere to look. Did she know? I think I killed him. There's this feeling. I know you could never believe I would do anything like that, but just imagine, for a second, if I did? Why would I do that? Reiwa was clearly delusional. I hear things, Noah. Nothing but a thin screen separates my desk from the meeting chamber. You know how I like the rules? I wouldn't listen in? Please give me a break. Of course I would. I love gossip. Did you overhear something? Dr. Uzumaki was an unsavory person. I hated him. Hated him. I was crying earlier because I thought I'd be caught. A memory snuck into my brain. Was Dr. Uzumaki... Yes, he was confiding in his clients again. They aren't there to help the therapist with his personal issues. It's so backwards. After his mother died, Dr. Uzumaki really started spiraling. He lost his friends and his enemies. He had nobody but his clients. You're right, he would do that to me. I thought it was to build trust. You're saying he was being clingy? I hadn't thought he was building trust for a second, but there was someone who I did need to build trust with. It could become a very dangerous situation otherwise. Clingy? That's not all. He was an oversharer. I heard everything, and it wasn't pretty. I won't repeat what he confided, but it's bad. Yeah, I get that. But why do you think you killed him? Want proof? My favorite animal. Rabbit. The chocolates that poisoned him had the same shape. Who else do you know who likes rabbits? I must have unconsciously decided to off him. I've been so out of whack lately. It's these meds? Sorry, shouldn't have told you that. Reiwa was on the precipice of ruining everything. If she somehow convinced the detective she'd done it, it would all be for nothing. I would have to reveal a bit of the truth. Involve her enough to change her mind. Conceal enough that she wouldn't blurt it out later. Easy. Argumentation. Reiwa claims she was on drugs, which is why she killed Uzumaki. There's no proof for her claim. Uzumaki isn't dead. There's no way drugs could have altered her mental state. There's no proof. Reiwa claimed her motive was that she knew Uzumaki had done terrible things. That isn't a very strong motive, but Reiwa doesn't have a motive to kill my parents. Nothing he could have done would have been bad enough to kill him. Reiwa does not have a motive to kill my parents. I'd done it. I'd seen through Reiwa's thought process. Now I could save her from herself. Yeah, I'll befriend her. Reiwa was a confusing person. And a confused person. She must have known in her heart she wasn't the killer. In some ways, I pitied her. She deserved to have a friend. So did I. I decided to befriend her, despite the cost it would take on my sanity. I wasn't sure what I'd been scared of. Maybe it was her strange accent. Reiwa, I don't think you killed Dr. Uzumaki. The logic doesn't add up. You said that you were on drugs and that you may have killed him in a blind rage. But that's a pretty weak argument. There's no way to prove it. Besides, would you really remember nothing? What about the grudge I have? He did some awful things, Noah. He was practicing with a forged license, for one. No matter how awful he was or how much you hated him, it doesn't matter. The fact that you hated him is irrelevant as long as you can't definitively prove you did it. Well, there may not be proof, but there was a connection? What about the rabbits, Noah? I know I bought chocolates like those recently. I don't know where they went. What? Why didn't you mention this earlier? I've been forgetting things recently. Come on, Noah, admit you're wrong. I did it. No. All this means is that you're probably confused. Dr. Uzumaki bought the chocolates and didn't tell you. You can't prove that. You're right. But there's one thing I can prove. Something that makes it impossible for you to have committed this crime. The detectives proved a connection between Uzumaki's death and my parents' death. They think that Dr. Uzumaki killed my parents and then killed himself with the chocolates. Really? You have no motive to kill my parents, right? Or send me a threatening letter? Why would I send you a letter? You're so lame. Exactly. My ego took a small punch to the gut, but it was worth it. I was winning her over. I guess you're right, Noah. If they really proved a connection between the murders, then I guess I didn't kill him. Your parents were so nice? I never killed him? Yes, they were. Pretty nice. Well, what are you still standing here for? Actually, Reiwa, I was wondering, would you be my friend? Do you really have to ask that? Does that mean you will? No, it means why would you ever actually ask someone that question? You should just let things naturally happen? And the answer is no? You're just too annoying. Thanks for cheering me up, though. Oh, hey, no big deal. Good night, then. Night. I was annoying? First time I'd heard that one. Maybe I didn't have any friends because I was secretly annoying. So relatable. If I was being annoying, why didn't anyone tell me? It seemed so inconsiderate. If Reiwa had just said, "You're being annoying," at any point in our earlier conversations, I could have fixed the problem. Instead, I was wondering about what I'd done wrong. I would probably go on to unintentionally annoy countless other people. Maybe I could ask someone about it in the future. Anyway, it was getting late. I needed the cold, uncomfortable reality of the tatami mat. I vowed to do better in the morning. Okay, where's the tatami mat? Oh, it's right in here. There it was. A compartment door, right in plain sight. I lifted it gently. Okay. I wish Reiwa had given me a nicer setup, but that would have been asking too much for someone who had imposed on her without much of a notice. I soon fell asleep. Aww. Is something gonna happen? To Noah, hello. Oh no. What am I supposed to do here? Is this Reiwa's room? What am I supposed to do here? It was about this time that I realized I was having a dream. A dream without a hint of reality. Or so I hoped. It scared me. To my core. It's so slow. The rabbits. I remembered something. I had the feeling that I needed to go somewhere, to check something. But there wasn't time. November 3rd, 1992. Okay. Have a nice time solving your case? Thank you, Reiwa. I will. Reiwa had been nice enough to let me stay over. I owed her my gratitude, even if she didn't want to be my friend. Maybe sometime I could crash at your house. Are you telling me or deciding that? Oh, never mind. Who'd want to stay at your house anyway? It's probably got blood and stuff. I was a little relieved. Yeah, it kind of... Yeah. Well, so long. Thanks again for driving me. I prefer walking. What do you think? Couldn't you take a hint? I have to go, Reiwa. Sorry. I have to go too? It was just a question? Rude. Oh, I'm sorry. She was already gone. I really screwed up there. It was time to see what the detectives were up to. The detectives were waiting for me. I don't see any detectives. Have they been scribbling on Uzumaki's face? Excellent detective work. Where were they? There was no sign of them. Oh. Ah. Ready to continue the investigation? No, Noah. What do you mean, no? I can pay you. That's not it, moron. There's no need to investigate because we solved it. Look at my eyes. They're bloodshot and sleep deprived. You know what that means? Mystery cram. Mystery cram? Yes. We spent all night debating, arguing, counter-arguing. In the end, we came up with a theory, and I think it's correct. So who did it? Who killed my parents? Who's the orphan? The answer is simple. It's what I thought all along. It's Uzumaki. So that's really it? That's what your whole night's worth of work amounted to? Yeah. You got a problem with that? Excuse me. It was a long night. I understand. Do you? Right. Well, it's done. You know, Uzumaki did it. The detectives weren't getting it, even after all the hints I dropped for them. Maybe that was my fault. I was too vague. They'd seemed like smart people, but that may have been too optimistic of me. All they'd effectively done is be eccentric, with barely any crime solving. I hoped there would be a way to fix this mess, and at the very least convince them of Uzumaki's innocence. Let's all sleep now. You can't do that yet. I didn't get much sleep either, but... Bad dream? Yeah. But I need to know your reasoning. Oh, but I'm so tired. Can't you give us a rest? This was another test. He wanted me to ask. If I didn't, I'd make a poor detective. The more time I had with the detectives, the more time I had to convince them. Convince them of what? Very well. I had to accept Takuma's challenge. Takuma, please understand. I need to know how he killed them. That's what closure is, isn't it? Yes, I suppose so. Fine. I'll explain. Wait! Let me get a box of tissues. Shut up, Yuzuki. What do we know about Dr. Uzumaki, the terrible therapist with an inferiority complex, or possible narcissism? We know he was an orphan. We know he was close to Noah. We know he had opportunity. Tell her the profile, Ume. Sure. I don't buy the money motive. See what I did? I'll repeat it. No, don't. I got it. Ahem. I believe he wanted to kill your parents, Noah, because he saw himself as a paternal figure to you. A paternal figure, but also in your way, your child. That makes no sense. It's an oxymoron. How could he be both my parent and my child? I said in a way. You're so literal. What I meant was he was playing the role of a parent who had a close relationship with their child. He was confused. He wanted to relate to you in a way only orphans can. But he was slowly becoming your parent himself. That's why, soon after killing your real parents and making you an orphan, he had to commit suicide. That makes sense, I suppose, in a twisted logic way. But still, why did you say he was my child? Just ignore it. It's too complex anyway. Can the snark, Ume. You shouldn't say stupid things and expect Noah to let you off the hook. You're right. I'm sorry. It was the first time I'd heard Ume apologize. Interesting. He was looking up to you initially. He told things to his patients. At first, I thought it was reverse therapy, using up his patients' time for his own problems. But it's deeper than that. Uzumaki saw all of his patients as surrogate parents, even the little girl, Amane. But that changed with you. For some reason, he began to think of you as his child. That's what I meant, Noah. Why do you think that is, even though you look so old? Hey, I don't look that old. I thought the very same thing. How do you know all of this, Ume? Was there a file somewhere on his computer explaining his psychology? No. Have you ever heard of fanfiction? I've tried to unhear it. Well, I write it, in my head, about people. To me, every person is like a character, even myself. Coming up with their backstory comes naturally. So you're saying your theory is completely worthless? Not quite. It's based in reality. The playful nature of the office, suggested by that indoor pool, that was Uzumaki's doing. In other words, he was a child at heart. And from what you told us before, he was constantly seeking approval. Sounds about right to me. What about the shift from child to parent? Why else would he kill himself? Because he didn't want to get caught? Remember, he killed himself after I hired you. Maybe he realized it wasn't worth it. The idea behind the letter is essentially for you to join him in his misery, right? How could you do that if he was dead? First, he chose to deal with his distress by creating a fellow orphan to bond with, you. Then he just offs himself as soon as a small complication arises? That doesn't seem right. He knew there'd be an investigation. It was inevitable as soon as he murdered your parents. So why would he suddenly change his whole plan for something he would have predicted? Because something happened that he didn't predict. Obviously, it's because he realized who he had become to you. Wow, you really want this to make sense? Because it will. It's cool. Also, it kind of fits the facts. Ume is so motivated to solve your case, Noah. Please, please, please give her a chance. She's doing her best. Thanks a lot, Yuzuki. Don't waste time with this half-dipped cocky. Doesn't matter what Noah thinks. All the evidence points to Uzumaki performing the murder, regardless of his motives. I'm listening. When you first saw the rabbit, you probably assumed he was there to tease you as he burned your house down. Something like that, I guess. He wasn't. He was there to kill your parents the easy way, with a gun. First, he tapped on your window. He wanted you as close to him as possible. A poor shot, no doubt. Just as he was about to kill them, though. Noah's rice cooker produced an ungodly amount of steam. Noah shouted, "Fire!" because that's what she thought it was. Uzumaki was scared off. He didn't want to risk killing you in the chaos. Huh. That actually does make some sense. You're better detectives than I thought. You're welcome. See, Noah? There's no way to counter that. It perfectly explains the rabbit's behavior. Well, why so eager to shoot this theory down? Because what if you're not right? You can't rush this conclusion. Uzumaki was a very sensitive person. Maybe not the best moral character out there, but still. If there's even a small chance he didn't do it, I have to prove him innocent. So prove Takuma wrong, Noah. It's the least you can do after all of this complaining. Okay then, I will. I can't wait to hear it. Just give me a second. This was my chance. It had to be a solid counter-argument. Good logic is built on a solid foundation. They weren't right, I knew that. So there had to be a hole. Argumentation. Takuma claimed Uzumaki was waiting outside the window. The door was unlocked and the house was isolated. He could have just walked inside. Why would he want to shoot my parents? But he could have been spotted by a neighbor. My apartment was pretty isolated. He was in my backyard and it was a quiet night. The door was unlocked. Oh, okay. The door was unlocked and the house was isolated, so he could have just walked inside. Why would he want to shoot my parents? Where would Uzumaki have gotten a gun? A neighbor would have heard the sound of the gun. People in my neighborhood tended to mind their own business. They probably wouldn't have responded to hearing gunshots. And apparently they didn't, because nobody complained. Okay, where would he have gotten a gun? Was that right? I could successfully play devil's advocate since I'd figured out how best to counter Takuma's logic. A bridge isn't built until you've walked all over it. There's a bit of a problem with this theory you have. If Uzumaki had a gun, why did he stand around outside? We were unarmed. He could have just entered through the door. Why shoot us through the window is what I'm asking. If Ume's amazing motivation deduction is correct, then he couldn't have just gone in. He had to be sure he would shoot your parents and not you. That's why he needed to see you through the window. It doesn't matter anyway, because all other evidence points to him. To claim that him shooting from the window negates all other evidence. It's like hating an entire idol group just because you don't like Saya-chan. Okay, well, what about the other thing? What about the thing your entire argument rests upon? The gun. Where would he get a gun? That's a good refute. Guns aren't exactly easy to produce here. But not impossible. Impossibility is the air we detectives breathe. It is likely that he wouldn't be able to get a gun. Yes. I get your point, but shouldn't we still try to prove it to Noah? We didn't find a gun anywhere. If there was no gun, like she said, the theory unravels. I'm more of a coroner than a ballistics expert. Gee, thanks for the information, Yuzuki. We were all wondering that. But I've never seen bullet marks like that at a crime scene before. I don't know what sort of gun could have made them. That sounds important. Why didn't you mention it before? Because when it comes to bullets, I really don't know what I'm talking about. Yuzuki was finally being helpful. Now I wouldn't have to rely on my own subtle hints. Hints about what? Your opinion has been noted. Oh, good. I will explain everything, Noah. Don't worry. I can solve this case. I hope you can, Takuma. Okay, so I'm going to stop it here. This is really interesting. I really want to know who solved it. Who did it? Did Noah actually do it? Is my question. Because it kind of feels like she did a little bit. But we'll see. Thank you so much for playing with me. I hope you had fun, because I had fun. I really like this game, actually, surprisingly. But it's pretty fun. Please like and subscribe. It would mean so much to me. And I will see you later.